Today, we're going to be checking out some budget headphones. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be checking out some headphones by Fifine, and we have the H3, H6, and H9 to look at. But before we do that, a quick disclaimer. I purchased these headphones up front with my own money, and then Fifine reimbursed me for the cost of the headphones. However, I retain the right to say anything I want in the review, and I'm not required by Fifine to say anything specific in this video. I'm free to express my own opinion, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now that that is out of the way, let's jump in. So first up, we have the H3, which at the time of making this video came in at $40.27. And it uses a 3.5mm jack for audio output and microphone input. And if you notice, it has RGB in the ear cups if that's something that interests you, and that is powered by the USB plug, but that's the only thing that is used by the USB plug. There is an inline controller that allows you to mute the microphone and control volume, and the H3 only comes in black. Next up is the H6, which comes in pink, white, and black and offers a USB only connection, which takes care of audio output, microphone input, and power for the RGB in the ear cups. It also has an inline controller that allows you to control volume, mute the microphone, and toggle between 7.1 virtual surround sound mode and stereo. It also has 3 built-in IQs that you can cycle through using this button right here. The H6 at the time of filming came in at $44.51. The H9 also comes in white, black, and pink, which the colors you saw on the other headsets, and it offers both a USB connection and a 3.5mm audio jack. The 3.5mm audio jack can be removed from the inline controller for use in handheld systems like the Switch, Steam Deck, or Xbox controller, or anything that takes a 3.5mm audio jack, or it can be plugged back into the controller to enable it to be used via a USB plug for any system that can be used with USB. The inline controller on the H9 allows you to toggle between stereo modes and 7.1 virtual surround sound, as well as muting the microphone, adjusting the volume of the headphones, as well as the volume of your microphone. At the time of filming, this model came in at $42.39. So how do these budget headsets actually perform? Well, first off, the H3 and then the H9 actually sound identical in stereo mode, and they sound great in my opinion. These are obviously not studio quality headphones, but they do a plenty good job of presenting sound for you. On a flat EQ, the H3 and H9 have noticeable bass, the highs are present, and the mids have a decent punch to them. But when you use a third-party EQ system like the SteelSeries Sonar software, you can actually pull a bit more range out of these headphones, and they'll sound even better than out of the box. For the price, I was surprised by the quality of both of these headphones when it comes to stereo audio. However, when the H9 is using 7.1 surround sound, it does have a very noticeable drop in sound quality in my personal opinion, and it becomes a little bit tinsy sounding, and the surround sound itself is just not that great. This is where the budget side in these headphones comes out. While this doesn't have 7.1 surround, this does, and you can definitely hear it when you turn the 7.1 surround sound on. When I was using the H9 for testing, I found myself just using the stereo mode because it sounded that much better, and I didn't get much more out of the 7.1 surround mode. So I just kept it in stereo and enjoyed the surprisingly good sound quality in that mode. Now you might be wondering why I left the H6 out of that previous conversation, and that's because I'm not quite sure where this headset was supposed to land. It has 3 EQs built into the inline controller like I mentioned earlier that you're forced to use, which in my opinion are worse than the flat EQ that the H3 and the H9 have. There isn't a way to disable this EQ in the inline controller that I was able to find, so it ends up sounding worse in both stereo and surround. In addition, it has a USB only connection, so you're not going to be able to use the H6 with something like a Switch or a Steam Deck or even an Xbox controller, or any other device that requires a 3.5mm connection. So the H3 has a few more options with it because it does have a 3.5mm jack, and the H9 also has the ability to plug into anything with a 3.5mm audio jack or anything that uses USB, so you get the best of both worlds with the H9. However, when I used the H3 and the H9 while playing my Xbox, the sound, even at max volume, was just a bit too quiet for me. While it was usable, I found it to be a little bit too quiet to actually truly enjoy the experience. The microphone on all three of these headsets worked without an issue, and they are removable. I'm going to cut to a video of testing the microphones so that you can hear the quality for yourself. Here's the audio for the H3. I did have to boost the gain in my audio console that came with my motherboard, but you can judge the audio quality for yourself. Here's the audio quality for the H6 so that you can judge for yourself. So here I'm using the Fifine H9 headset, and you can hear the audio for yourself. I think the microphone quality is plenty good to play games and have a clear voice chat with your friends. All of the microphones were just plug and play, which is a great thing because you don't have to mess with a bunch of settings. And that's the other thing about these headphones, is they just worked. You plugged them in, made sure the audio source was correct, and they worked. There was no issues with any kind of software or anything like that, as Fifine does not have software that comes with these headsets. As far as comfort, they all basically felt the same, which surprisingly is very comfortable. Over-the-ear headphones for me have never really been that comfortable, but I actually don't have any complaints about these. I spent most of an entire day wearing at least one of these pairs of headphones, and I was gaming off and on, and I didn't feel any pain points and my ears didn't hurt anywhere. These headphones are very light, so I think that's something that lends to its very high comfortability in my opinion. All three headphones are manufactured with the same kind of materials and in the same general shape. Here we have a piece of metal that holds the ear cups, goes up into the headband. And on the headband, we have this leather-like material as well as on the ear cups themselves. And while I can't speak to the longevity of the material, it is very soft and comfortable while you're wearing it. And I also didn't notice any type of hot spots on my ears while using the headphones. So for me, the overall comfortability of these headphones was actually really, really good. So my ending thought for these headphones is that if you're looking for a budget wired gaming headset, the Fifine H9 is worth taking a look at. I say the H9 because it has all the features of the H3 and the H6, and it only lacks the RGB and the EQ that is built into the H6, which in my opinion is a plus. The H3 is limited to just a 3.5mm connection, and the H6 is limited to just a USB, whereas the H9 has the capability to do both. And for only $2.12 more than the H3, you get that extra freedom. Plus, you can pick the color that you want with the H9. So if you would like to check out these headphones, I'm going to have links in the description. Now, these are not links that do anything for me. They are simply just Amazon links to the product themselves. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.